All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am James Oliver Jr., founder and CEO of the Parapreneur Foundation, where we empower Black parapreneurs so they can leave a legacy for their beautiful Black children. What we do. And, we do these things pretty regularly now, and we always have the most thoughtful, inspiring guests on the show. And today is no different. I'm super excited and I'm not going to, I'll read her bio here in a moment, but I'm just going to tell you her name is Courtney Garowitz. And Courtney is the director of a new program that Techstars is spinning up here in Atlanta for women. It's called the Techstars Founder Catalyst Program for Atlanta women. So excited to talk about the program, the who's, the what's, the whys, the where's, and whatnot. So before I do that, I always like to talk a little bit about what we got going on here in the Parapreneur Foundation. And the main thing is we just celebrated our 1 year anniversary, and I'm just so thankful for the work that we've accomplished to empower these Black parapreneurs in our community. We were just paying for therapy for our community, paying for virtual tutors for members' children at a time when children were virtual schooling and some of them needed extra help, and paying for virtual assistants for our community and giving $40,000 in grants, $1,000 to 40 people and on and on. And, the app prototype program that we started to stand in the gap for the Black parapreneurs who don't have friends and family who can write them that first check to launch their businesses. So those are just some of the types of things that we do here at the Parapreneur Foundation. And, your support is everything. So please continue to support us. We really appreciate that. Obviously, all donations are tax deductible. So now, back to business here. So we have Courtney Gerwitz. I'm going to read her bio very quickly, and then I'm going to bring Courtney up. We are going to chop it up for the next 30 minutes about what the Techstars Founder Catalyst program is. All right, Courtney's bio real quick. Hang with me here. So Courtney started her career as an electrical engineer, but quickly discovered a passion for supporting early stage founders in 2014. In 2014, Courtney left her job as a power systems engineer at NASA. Well, okay, so that means she's really smart, right? I don't know, maybe she's not. She's talking to me, so I don't know how smart she is. I think. She's really smart. At NASA to work with the clean tech startup she founded in college. Amazing. Courtney learned firsthand how challenging it was to raise capital and find resources to move her company forward. After 8 years with her startup, she decided to follow her passion for supporting entrepreneurs and served in leadership roles in the startup community in Ohio. 3 years ago, she wanted to take her founder support board global and join the team at Techstars as director for the Launchpad University Entrepreneurship Network. In this role, Courtney led the development and management of entrepreneurial program offerings that serve over 30 universities, reach nearly 1 million students, and facilitate over 500 mentor connections annually. Today, Courtney is continuing her journey with Techstars on the ecosystem development team, where she's helping founders access capital and move their companies forward while leading Techstars Founder Catalyst programs. All right, without further ado, I want to welcome Courtney Garowitz to the mic. What is up, Courtney?
Hey, James. Happy Monday. Thanks so much for having me. And that bio it's so embarrassing when people read your bio. I'm just over here like, but thanks so much for the warm introduction.
You're amazing. You're obviously really smart. I'm not questioning how smart you are because you're talking to me. I know. How smart because you're talking to me. Oh no, but David Cohn connected us, right? Because some people don't know, the Parapreneur Foundation is part of the Techstars network because we went through the Techstars Foundation Accelerate Equity Program. So always meeting wonderful people like Courtney and David just sent an email, introduced us a couple weeks ago. We had a conversation, and we were like, she's spinning up this new program in Atlanta. We're Atlanta based, about 350 or so of our 1,500 members in our community are in Metro Atlanta. So we wanted to invite Courtney to the stage and to talk about this new program. And if you have some friends who are listening who are Atlanta-based women who might want to get into this, it's a pre-accelerated program, which I'm so thankful that you guys are really like being upfront about that, because like we talked about, Courtney, there's so many like people out here just like pretending to be things they're not. And there's a lot of fatigue in the Black entrepreneurship community around these programs. And like, making all these promises, and you get to there like, wait, what? You're not writing us a check? And God's like, no, we're not writing a check. This is a pre-accelerated program, right? But because you can talk about all the things that you're doing for them, and at the end of it, you're going to expose them to the Techstars Investor Network, which, as a founder and entrepreneur myself, there's tons of value in that.
Right? Yeah, totally. So much. Yeah, no, dude, I'm happy to give a little background, right? Like, just describe the program, talk about why we're doing it, talk about why we're here coming to Atlanta to support female founders in the area. The whole idea behind Founder Catalyst, like you said, James, is, we want to bridge that gap between, so many folks have this idea, like they've started a company, they formed their LLC, maybe they have a prototype, right? And now they're kind of like, well, now what, right? Like, you need to go out and raise money. And I think there's a huge education gap, right? There's a huge program gap. Like, everybody hears about Techstars and these big accelerators, but you don't know, like, when I was starting my company, I'm like, I was getting rejected by those accelerators, right? I was getting rejected by investors, angel investors, VCs, just because, like, there were some basic things I didn't understand. And that's the problem that we're trying to solve with Founder Catalyst, right? In this program in Atlanta, is we want to help elevate female founders in the area by connecting them to the right resources to get them there, right? So you can close that next round of funding. So you can get into the accelerator programs. The Techstars Network, we have access to thousands of investors and mentors, right? And through this program, okay, we're not going to introduce you to every single one of them, all right? But you're going to get access to that piece of our network, right? And that's incredibly valuable. Like you said, like, the reason I'm so passionate about the program is it's like, this is a program that I wish I had when I was starting my company. That's what makes it so awesome.
Absolutely. Like, entrepreneurs have no idea how to credibly connect with potential investors. They have no idea. So this tees it up for them to be able to do that. And I think there's a ton of value in that. And because it wasn't because I went through an accelerator, I went through Generator back in 2013.
Yeah.
I was living in Appleton, Wisconsin, more than 30 miles south of Green Bay. Not a whole lot going on there in terms of tech startups. But I got into the Madison cohort, and because I got into that program, I had the credibility. They were sending us around to meet with potential investors or angels, but because they had that network, like I was reaching out to those people on my own. It was crickets, right? So you need to have people who can make those connections for you and help make sure you're ready to have those conversations. So I got a bunch of questions for you, Courtney, but the first question I want to ask is just listening to you talk. So we may not do all these questions because we're going to be riffing, I already know.
Yeah, I was going to go back and forth. It's fine.
Oh, yeah. What inspired you guys to pick Atlanta to start this program?
Yeah. You know what? I think that's such an interesting question, and there's multiple pieces to that. I think it's an area that has so much talent and so much innovation. First of all, I think we're just looking at the potential in the region, right? When we think about where do we want to plant these programs, we look at that potential and we look at, can we make a difference here, right? Can we be that catalyst? Techstars is fortunate, James, like, we have partners like, you and the Parapreneur Foundation. We have other partners in the area, these other organizations that can be there to support these founders after they go through the Founder Catalyst program, right? Because this is a short program. This is 10 weeks, right? That's not going to, you're not going to be in this program forever, and we don't right. want you to be in this program forever. But in Atlanta, we have that network, right? We also have our 2 accelerator programs in the area. So we know that not only can we give you resources in the program, but we could give you a soft landing spot, and we could help to connect you to the Atlanta community. That's why we picked this area.
Oh, yeah, for all the right reasons there. So you guys are, so basically, what is the Techstars Founder Catalyst program in partnership with J P Morgan? It's a J P Morgan piece I would love you to expand on a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's a heck of a name, right? So because we kind of threw around the name. So what is Founder Catalyst? Okay, first of all, like you said, it's like a pre-accelerated program. What does that really mean? Well, first of all, that means that it's part-time. We're not expecting participants to like quit their day job to be part of this program. You could do this. The time commitments, maybe 4 to 5 hours a week, right? Depending how aggressive you want to be with your mentor meetings. So this is part-time. It's really accessible, right? So that's part of it. It's 10 weeks long. It's also mostly virtual. We're going to do a few in-person events in Atlanta, but the majority of the program, again, is virtual and part-time. So that it just fits into your schedule, right? So you're busy running your company. Maybe you don't have time to come in and like, dedicate 24 hours a day to like being in a physical place, like sitting in courses, right? So we want to make it accessible. And so this program is in partnership with J P Morgan. This is part of a group at J P Morgan that we're working with that really cares about supporting female founders. They care about the Atlanta community. It's a group called Women on the Move. And so we're very happy to be presenting this program with them. What that means for the program is that in addition to the Techstars network, you also get access to the J P Morgan network, which is amazing. We're going to have some mentors part of the program that are from J P Morgan. So, if you're curious about learning more about just financial health overall with your startup, but also for you personally, J P Morgan's going to be there supporting the program, which is amazing.
Cool. So Women on the Move, is that like an ERG group inside of J P Morgan? Is that a separate business unit?
Yeah, exactly. And listen, I don't want to say too much about it because I don't know J P Morgan in and out, but you know what? They're an amazing group and an amazing partner to have for the program.
Okay, so my next question, I think we already answered, but why should founders participate in this program? We talked about that a little bit. Let's talk about like who's eligible for the program.
Yeah, you know what? This is what I love. It's pretty broad. Female founders, Atlanta area. So this doesn't mean like, zip code's got to be like downtown. It could just be general, right? James, we talked about this. It's like basically
it's the whole state, basically.
Basically the whole state, right? So nothing.
Metro Atlanta.
And when we want to say, female founder, we're using that like, that definition of 51% women owned, right? And if you have any questions about that, like basic eligibility, please feel free to email me. I think I could drop my email in the chat. There's also, if you go to our application page, there's a general email down there. You could contact me if you're like, what does that really mean? So that's important. And then for-profit company, right? So JP Morgan, Techstars, we're supporting for-profit companies. That's kind of how our network is aligned. So you get the most benefit out of the program if you are that for-profit company. I get that because I know we might get questions like, hey, I'm a nonprofit. Could I do this program? And unfortunately, no, like, we love you, but this program is designed for that for-profit company. Right.
So I actually put that FS6 application at the top of the post. So,
awesome.
So people can should be able to see that at the top of the post. Click on that to apply if you want to apply. So Elle just posted a comment. She's a beloved member. I really Cole. She said the program sounds very interesting. Hey Elle, so glad that you're here. And yes, I agree. What other questions I have for you? What types of sessions are they going to do during the program?
Yeah, great question. So there's going to be kind of a big kickoff event for this program. So looking at, the program starts the week of October 4th. So there's going to be an in-person component. There's going to be networking. We love that. Again, COVID permitting, we're watching all that stuff really carefully, right? Following all the requirements, what do you got to do? But we're going to have in-person networking. And then every single week, there's going to be a masterclass. And the focus of that content is really important because the content is designed. We're bringing Techstars experts to the table to really help you refine your pitch deck, refine your pitch, and help you learn how to interact with investors, right? That's what the program's focused for. Again, understanding how to interact, understanding how to really sell your company and present your company so that you can get that first round of funding. You can get into that accelerator. So those master classes happen once a week. There are a couple weeks we might do 2 activities. They're going to be 12 noon. So again, hopefully during your lunch hour, it's not eating into your day, it's not eating at family time, right? So 12 noon, hour long, you'll have those master classes. We're going to do panels, founder stories panels with just some amazing female founders that have been crazy successful. They've done this, been there, done that. So you get access to that. But in addition to that, ongoing mentoring throughout the program, we have an amazing entrepreneur in residence. This is like a mentor that's just dedicating her time for this program. Yeah, and you could book time with her. Her name's Cheryl Kellon. She's just like a rock star, and she's going to be like your personal mentor throughout the entire program.
She's here in Atlanta?
No, she's not physically in Atlanta. She will come down for our kickoff event. Both Cheryl and I, unfortunately, we're both like, we're not in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But she'll be part of the program as well. And then at the end of the program, we're going to have a final pitch day, right? So you're going to get, when you participate in the program, you're going to have this opportunity to pitch in front of, again, investors from the Techstars network. Invitations out. That's huge. Yeah. And then they'll have an opportunity to network with you. The pitch day is on Zoom. I'm just going to tell you, it's not an in-person pitch day, but there will be that opportunity again for you to network and to meet investors from the Techstars network as part of that.
That's so good. So for people who don't know, Techstars is arguably the preeminent global tech startup accelerator. So which leads me to a next question. I'm going to jump out of order here, but what types of companies can apply? I know you said for profit, but any particular industries? Do they all have to be tech startups? Do they all have to be scalable? Like who should or could apply for this?
Yeah, right. Great question. Everybody thinks like, oh, this is a again, tech startup, and they see JP Morgan Chase. They think, oh man, that I got to be a fintech company. Not the case at all. There's no industry. We're vertical agnostic, right? You could be, developing any kind of for-profit company, right? We're looking at, you could be clean tech. You could be a fintech company. You could be doing AI. You could be doing, whatever, a health tech company. You can apply to this program. There's no specific industry that you have to be in.
Does it have to be tech focused though, with the potential to scale up kind of thing, you think?
We're looking for scalable startups, correct? Yeah. So again, a company that's looking like, hey, like one day I want to go out and raise capital, or I want to get into like Techstars. You think that, this program is helping to prep you for that, right? So you might not get too much out of the program if you're in it and you're like not looking to go out and raise funding, right? Yeah. So that exactly, scalable tech company.
Right. So you're not looking at like mom and pop type shops, but something that's scalable that you could, with some more gas you can put on the fire. This thing could maybe one day get to $100 million in revenue.
Exactly. Yep. You got it.
Exactly. All right, cool. Let me go back to my questions here. So the program is based in Atlanta, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And can you talk a little bit at all about the relationship that you have with the Techstars Atlanta-based accelerator, or no?
Yeah, absolutely. So we, for those of you who aren't familiar, Techstars does run 2 accelerator programs out of the Atlanta area. That's in partnership with Cox, and we're very happy to have a physical space in Atlanta that those accelerator programs run out of. Again, now getting out of COVID, those in-person activities are actually happening again, which is tremendous. And so what that means with us having 2 accelerator programs in that area is that those managing directors, those are the individuals who run those accelerator programs, are so well connected in the local community. Again, they know the local investors, they know the top mentors in the area. So by us physically being there, and for this program to be in Atlanta, means that we also gain that benefit of having that incredible network in the Atlanta area. So again, you go through this program, you automatically get access to that. If you have questions, anything about Atlanta, if there's something I don't know, right? Because I'm not physically there, I have my team members that are physically there and they can answer the questions, right? That's what makes it so amazing.
Yeah, I think that's huge because Techstars already has boots on the ground here with those accelerators and connected to all those different people and resources, like you just said. So all of that will be of value to the people who go through the program. And I think that's a huge differentiator. At which stage should a company be in order to apply?
Yeah, right. Okay. So if you've gone out and you've raised over $1 million, this program probably isn't going to help you much, right? So we're looking for that earlier stage company, right? Like you think about it, if you have a pitch deck, if you have kind of like a basic prototype, maybe you've gone out and you've done a little bit of customer discovery work, you don't have to have revenue. And I want to say that goes for like applying to Techstars in general, right? We want to see a little bit of traction. We want to see that you've put some thought into your idea, you've developed it. You're working towards that product market fit. You have an idea of what product market fit means, like those things. This isn't like, startup 101, let's say. That's kind of what you see in a Techstars startup weekend. And there are certainly programs that could help you if you're at that super early stage where you're just thinking about your idea. This is, again, that next step, that second step. Like, okay, I've kind of got a pitch deck. I think I've done some customer discovery. Now I want to go out and, I need to raise some money, right? Or I want to go out and expand my network. That's the right stage for this program.
Okay, cool. So how many people are going to be selected?
Yeah, 20. We are going to invite 20 founders or 20 companies to be accepted into the program. It's going to be tough, but this is kind of amazing though, because usually Techstars accelerators only accept 10 into their program. So love that we could offer a few additional spots for this. And again, we want to help everybody, as many female founders as we can. So really excited about that.
Okay. So how many startups actually, how will you choose who you will accept?
Yeah, wonderful question. So, if you go to the application page, you'll get an idea of the types of questions that we ask. There's going to be a video upload. We want to get to know, that's so important. I will say, if you take away one thing about what we look for in a company, Techstars in general, not even just for this program, but Techstars really looks at the founders, right? We want to understand who you are, how dedicated you are to this idea, how passionate you are about this idea, and then what kind of traction have you personally generated for the company, right? Have you gone out there and talked to 100 potential customers to validate your idea, right? We're looking for stuff like that, like you, the founder, being just super obsessed with your idea, right? We love that. And so we look at that. more than anything else. And then we ask you some general questions about, we'll talk about your market, talk about, sales. We don't ask a lot of detail, and we're not going to ask you for a spreadsheet for like 5 years worth of financial projections. If you have that, fabulous. But we know that
it's worthless, most likely.
It is, right? Exactly. Stuff's going to change the company. We know that that's like, it doesn't mean anything. We care more about you, right? And the action that you've taken. And so that's what we're looking for. And I will say, in addition to that, for this program, we also ask you to write a little narrative about why you're interested in participating in this program specifically. And we're really looking at that, right? Because say you have a phenomenal startup, you're like on the right track, ton of traction, maybe even sales, phenomenal founders, we love you, but maybe you don't need this program, right? Maybe you're too far along. So we also are looking at your need, right? So like, how much is this program really going to make a difference to you? So that's what we're looking for in the application.
All right, well, you effectively made me feel like a slacker because you said that if you have talked to 100 people, and I'm like, wait a minute. So I don't know if you know that I'm a founder too. Like I mentioned, I went through Generator. So I founded this business called We Montage, which lets you take your digital images and turn it into repositionable wallpaper. So that's a cool little product thing. And then I have the Parapreneur Foundation, which I started during COVID with a $50,000 seed grant from Brad Fell, who's a co-founder of Techstars. And then now, along with a member of my Parapreneur Foundation community, we're actually spinning up a new project. It's called Kabila, which is Swahili for tribe, which connects co-founders to build diverse tech startups. So, Wayne Gretzky said, he skates to where the puck is going to be, which is why he was so successful. So I'm like reading all the tea leaves, what's going on out here. And I'm like, I feel like in 5 or 10 years, it's going to be a capital raising superpower to have a diverse co-founder team for your tech startup. But everything I read was like, you only need 30 people for customer discovery. But like, if you talk to 50, that's great. We wanted to get to 100, but we only have 55. And you're like, oh, you need 100. So now you're making me feel like a slacker. So you see what you did, making me feel that.
No, man, you know what I'll say? Yeah, because I heard that too. I never did 100 customer discovery, right? Like apparently I did it wrong. I don't know. Maybe we would have been successful. No, I'm kidding. It depends, right? It depends on your company. Don't use that 100 thing. Like, maybe, it's whatever. That is really impressive though. If I see that, I'm like, holy cow. Also, that's like ridiculous.
So we will do more. That's just the first round. And I mean, I just kind of stopped promoting the server. We use Typeform for that. But anyway, let's get back to these questions we can talk more about that offline here. So will co-founders be allowed to participate in the program?
Yeah. So we would love, this is a virtual program. We would love for co-founders to participate, join all the masterclass sessions. And the cool thing is that, if you're in the program, everything will be recorded too. So say like you can't make one of these sessions, we'll send it out to you afterwards. We get it. You're busy, like totally fine. Co-founders also welcome to watch that and participate. If you want to attack the mentor opportunity and you want to meet with more mentors and you want to like divvy some up for your co-founder, amazing. I will say there is one caveat, and that is with the physical in-person event component. Just for planning, just for our purposes, main founder can attend the in-person networking events, right? So that's the only restriction. But other than that, welcome co-founders. We just, sometimes you get like companies with 10 co-founders. I don't know. I've seen it before. Then that's just like an event planning thing. That gets really tricky. But no, we love the whole company to participate, right?
Hilarious. So actually, that's a good segue to my next question. I was going to ask about when do these master classes and networking events take place, and is there an attendance requirement for those things? And this is my last question here, by the way.
Yeah. We totally understand that you're busy. Again, mentioned this earlier, but we try to make it work for your schedule. Again, understanding you're a busy entrepreneur, maybe you're doing 15 other things, right? You got family, you have everything else. So the master classes will be 1 hour, and it'll be either Tuesday or Thursday. Some weeks we might do both at noon Eastern time. So, again, we're looking to see you participate in 80% of the activities, right? Just because we think that, if you're missing out on like more than, on like half the sessions, you're probably not going to get a lot out of the program, right? So that's why we talk about it that way. You're like you're really going to get the value out if you're actively participating. And you know what? If you miss a session, like I said, no big deal. We're going to have recordings. We just want you to get connected to the community, right? I think that's a big part of it. Are these like in-person networking events? So definitely a kickoff event when the program starts. And we're working on 2 other in-person components. I have one that's kind of exciting, but it's not like set in stone yet, so I can't talk about it, but it's something pretty cool. So, you know, we got some stuff in the works, but it's going to be great.
Oh, that's amazing. So before I forget, once we wrap up, Courtney, if you can hang around for a second so you can tell me what that is offline, I would love to hear about that. So anybody out there listening, please feel free to drop your questions in the chat. We have about 5 or 6 more minutes here. We'd love to get to some of your questions if you have questions. You know, Courtney, so that point you just made about showing up and connecting, it's like when you said that, I just was reminded of that old African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I will say that is, man, that's so true.
Right.
So true. So if you get into the program, like engage with people, connect with people, take advantage of the network that they're going to expose to you. You know, one of the things, particularly here in the Parapreneur Foundation community, that I'm always riffing about, and I don't think people are talking about enough. We're all talking about how Black and brown entrepreneurs have a hard time getting to financial capital, but nobody's talking about the dearth of social capital. And, you know, in my mind, a lack of social capital is as problematic and in some ways more problematic because not only will it too keep you from executing what you brilliant idea, but it will keep you from imagining what's possible. And it was Einstein that said imagination is more important than knowledge. So I think it's important if you get into a program like this to take advantage of the network and the resources and Techstars. The Techstars, I don't know if it's the ethos or what you want to call it, but it's give first. Hashtag give first. And I can tell you personally, just meeting David Cole and Brad Fell and just engaging with people like you, Courtney, and the whole Techstars crew, that's a real thing. And it's changed my perspective. It's changed my life. And if I had an opportunity to do this life thing over, it would be completely with give first in mind.
Isn't that true? Here, James, I got to show you something. I don't want to take us over time, but I got, I don't know if you can see this or not, probably not. I literally have a coin. You get this when you become an employee at Techstars, and it literally says give first on it, hashtag give first, like that. You're right. Those are, you know, that's like our core values. And that's what I think is so amazing. You're right. Like entrepreneurship is hard, and it's even harder when you're by yourself, right? You get that connection, that community in this program to other female founders in the Atlanta area, but also, you know, this Techstars Give First ethos, as you said, this community that just genuinely wants to help you. And I think that's amazing. Again, that's why I think this program is amazing. That's why I'm so excited to be part of it. I think it's going to be great.
You know, one other thing, I think a lot of entrepreneurs, especially early stage entrepreneurs who are just like grinding to get from point A to point B, they're like, well, what do I have to give? I have nothing to give. You know, I'm just trying to pay my bills. I'm just trying to get my MVP built, get my app approved in the Apple Store, whatever it is, right? But I think that's a mistake in your mindset because we all have something to give. It could be as simple as holding the door for someone, giving someone a kind word, right? We all know how the social media game is. We have friends posting content on social media. Why should they have to ask you to like, comment, and share it? Just do it, right? Just do it. If you meet somebody who can be helpful to somebody else in your network, make a connection. Make sure the connections are double opt-in. Don't do single-sided introductions. That's a whole other thing. We're going to do a conversation about that. Double opt-in intros only, please. So what is this question? Apart from the best introductions, what kind of introductions or support can a founder expect?
Yeah. That's on the same, like, James, I saw that question too. I think it's right along lines of what we're talking about, right? Like that network, it's the mentorship in addition to that. So we have a platform that facilitates, you can look at cards of all the mentors and you can look at them by like industry and expertise. And like the mentors, we have people from, you know, like AWS and Google, right? These amazing, you know, successful founders. We have like mentors from venture capital firms. But the really unique thing is that they're all doing this, like they're just giving their time, right? Like they're not getting paid to like mentor for this program. They just genuinely want to help you succeed and want to help the founders in the program succeed. So that's another thing that you have access to, right? And it's just a book, right? So it's really up to the participants. Again, you got to take that initiative to go out and be like, hey, wow, I want to meet with these 18 mentors. You could totally do that. And that's another perk of the program. But yeah, that's what makes it so amazing. Again, that network and those people that are just willing to give, right, without expecting anything in return.
Hey, I even signed up. I got a mentor card in the program.
Yeah, you do. And thank you for doing that, James. We appreciate it. That's give first all the way.
Well, it is, man. And so the thing I will say, so mentorship is cool. But I think it's incumbent upon the entrepreneurs to transition that mentorship relationship to a sponsorship relationship. Because if you can convert, you can build trust and establish credibility and be consistent and do what you say all the time. Those people will then be advocating for you when you're not in the room, right? Those people will make the introductions for you. For you're like I always jokingly say, mentors be like, "Oh, this is great new event happening this weekend. It's going to be some dope speakers. You know, you should register." To me, I'm always like, I could have found that online myself. But okay, thanks. But sponsors be like, "Hey, I know the people organizing the event. I suggested to them that they put you on the panel as a paid speaker." So that's the difference.
Totally different.
So that, and on that note, I'm gonna drop the mic. And so, how can people find you? Find out more about the program, to apply, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we're going to drop the links in the chat because it's a really long URL on F6S. But, you know, if you Google search the Founder Catalyst program with JP Morgan Chase, you'll find us. Also, I'll make sure that my email gets in the chat so that you could get in touch with me. It's just courtneygross@techstars.com. That's my old last name. You could reach out to me directly. Love it. Ask all the questions that you want. You know, happy to.
Courtney.Gross, you said?
Courtney.Gross, yep.
Yes. Okay.
Techstars.com.
Techstars.com. Look at that. She gave you her email address, people. I mean, come on, man. This is what we do. We're helping you connect to people. Right? She didn't tell you to send her LinkedIn connection request. She said, "Here's my email address. Email her."
Personal. Yeah, like whatever. I mean, okay, LinkedIn's fine too. You can send me LinkedIn message. Yeah. I actually check and respond to my LinkedIn messages. So, but email, it's fine. Yeah, we're all about personal connections.
Absolutely. If you can send me a LinkedIn connection request, make sure you tell me why you want to connect with me. I was a LinkedIn snob. That's just me. Anyway, she's a lot nicer than I was. So anyway, thank you so much, Courtney, for being here. I'm excited to talk to you more. We were just before the show talking about how can we partner with the Catalyst program to do a program for Black entrepreneurs around the country. I definitely am keen to work on that, and we got to find a couple dope sponsors. That's how we make that happen, right? Because we want to put some money in people's pockets. Because my entrepreneurs got kids to feed now. We got kids to feed, right? We can't go to the grocery store and y'all take likes. Can I pay with likes? No. Anyway, that's a wrap. Thank you so much, Courtney, for coming through, telling us about the Techstars Catalyst program. Hang out at the end if you can for a second here. But thanks for everybody coming out. See you on the other side. Take us home, Liberty.